Of all of my life, I have seen myself live in America without ever noticing communists. Communists are variances of a very sensitive way of life, and they have everything they need in order for themselves to be able to see their articulation. In my day, I have seen them say the most horrible things about how America is ran. I'm wondering if they can just pack up their stuff and go to their bomb city or state. And all of the problems that they have in this particular life, how come they were rescued in this particular portion? Because they don't believe in just about anything that happens in America. I'm hoping that this will be able to be a positive, peaceful phenomenon because God has given us everything we need in order for ourselves to be able to continue to keep ourselves together. And all of my mainstream, it is because of how we are able to be abrasive about how life is supposed to go. We see it as being a great culture for our time to be able to be allegiance to the cultures that have it to be esteemed. In all of my rights, I will continue to keep myself together and know that God is the one that is pillaring me to be able to know that the Lord is there with me at all times. In my enhancement, I will know that there is a lot of things that I have in peace in America, and I want to continue to keep myself together. In all of my paths, I will continue to know that the Lord is there with me at all times, and I should not allow myself to be upset about who it is, where it comes from. And I thank you so much, Lord God, for giving me peace in areas where I thought I did not have peace in. When it comes to a communist, I said, you know what, Lord God? I was thinking about how I had talked to one. He said he was a communist. He said he was brought to America as a child, and if he had a choice, he would go back to a bomb city that was between Africa and Nevercrom. He said his town was Netherbit town. And I said, well, that town wasn't really a town. It was an unmarked ship until American soldiers came and got you. How can you go into your pillow with in the announcement of day in the times that you have in your own conjugacy of faith? How are you able to contrast in this event, and what makes you be who you are? He said he does not like meat. He said he does not like the way it tastes in America. He said where he's from, he can have a matrimony with an individual that he chooses that is 16 years old and under. I said, well, you're living in America, and by you living in America, how could you be prevailed in your own event in the times that are happening in this particular fact? What is it that you could do to choose yourself to be able to be the mainstream about the cultures that is enlightenment in the evasum of the conjugacy of faith? How could you choose to be able to be a part of a nonchalant COVID and this particular factor, and what can you do to get out of it? And I said, it's not the fact that he did not pass any of his classes, because he's very smart. It's just that I really believe when he went to the military to find himself, he was given the job to not elaborate what he could have figured out if his mental would have elapsed. And I said to myself, of all of the things that are covering in this land, how can we be able to live in peace in this particular way of life, where we know that there are a lot of things that are happening in this culture that gives you a belief system that is more than what it is that you have been cultured in? And I have always been appalled at the fact that this person said he hates America. In this particular vlog, I want you to be able to tell me, was I right or wrong? I told this person to get out of my life, and don't you ever in your life come back, because the services is not what it will be. I will contact the police and let them know everything about what you said and did and mess up your whole life if you ever think you're going to come here in my good life and try to tell me what to do and my decisions when I am born and raised in America, and for what I see you make and the things that you are able to do peacefully. I feel as if you have a good life that America has provided to you, and I want you to be able to be a part of the classics and the casitos because of the things that are happening in the past, present, and future. And I want you to see that there are a lot of people that would be able to give the classmates and the conjugacy of faith and novelty all of my things that I do have. I will continue to know that God is the reason why we are a ledger about this, and I want you to support me in this, that if you know somebody that is a communist way of life, tell that person to calm down and ask God on what to do. And if that person say, no, that's a communist. In my prevalence, I realize that the Lord has given me everything that I do need, and I'm going to continue to keep myself together in the evasive actions about the things that are happening in this culture, because we have to be right about something. We have to be able to see where God is going to lead us into our own artillery of arts, and we have to be able to come together and mingle and be a true cause in God's America. And I just can't believe that this person it was allowed to even go to the military for how he felt. If he would have said anything near that, he would have never gotten in. In all of my days and times, I realized that this vlog is to continue to keep you thinking about those who you are really with, the ones that are from different countries, and want you to believe that they have everything they need in order for themselves to be able to be elaborate in the time of need. In my culture, I want you to sit into the reality and realize that there is a form of mistakeness that has to happen in the past, present, and future. And I thank you so much for giving us everything that we do need in order for ourselves to be peaceful in this land. I really feel like my military has set up the ultimate way of life for me, and I'm going to continue to live it and live a beautiful life and know that God is my measure of everything that I do have. In this meaning of torture, I really feel like it should be something that should be said about it. That this person wants to have a guaranteed life of luxury, and when things don't go his way, he starts talking about how he was a player in his own community and how he was able to beget everything about himself, and it was his beck and call. And I said, well, that's not an insult. If you feel that that was a way of life, how come you can't develop that and go see your family every now and then? Since it's so great and so good, once you develop, you would want your family member to come out here to America where your eyesight are peaceful and in esteem. I want you to know that there's a lot of things that has taken place about what have happened in the past, present, and future, and I want you to give up a big love note to America and how we are esteemed to continue to keep ourselves together and how God keeps us protected. And all of the things that we do see in the mainstream, I want you to continue to know that God is your love, and always remember that you cannot allow yourself to think that this can go through. This person was dating a whole person in my family, and I said, I just don't like this person's demeanor. And the only thing that I could say is I tried my best to continue to keep myself together and continue to keep myself in this way more, and I've always remembered what God told me to do to continue to know how to react to this. And he was all in my face telling me about black coal, about righteousness, about, in fact, that maybe I should look into my own ways of life and how God has changed those things for me, that I don't have to agree to these type of things if I don't want to. And I said, well, God has brought me a very long way about this. It would keep you married, but it would not keep you sane, because you will never know where your husband is, and if he's somewhere being hurt in another country, how are you going to be able to save that person's life? If you would like to donate to any cause in reality of my community or your community, please Cash App to $ Shirley, SHIRLEY, Knox, KNOX 40. I want you to know that the Lord is there with us at all times, and we should not allow ourselves to be upset about who this, where it comes from. Thank you so much, Lord God, for giving us peace in this. And I want you to subscribe to my channel, because this is how I'm able to get paid to do what it is that I am doing in perfect divine order of God. I want you to support my show. If you're from another show, subscribe to my channel. I will subscribe to your channel to be able to keep things going, and maybe one day we will be able to build a network. Know that I do appreciate you, Thank you so much for tuning in and have a wonderful day.